He got moved. And ultimately, he had the highest level of attainment. So the team as a whole benefited from this. Okay, that's number one. Let's keep going. Number two, leader motivation. The definition of leader motivation is to instruct behavior. The word was to incentivize behavior. Leader is to instruct behavior by offering guidance, support, or example. Guidance, support, or example. Now, traditional leader motivation is like your quarterly eval or your annual evaluation. Well, come on in, I'm going to tell you all that you did wrong and all that you did right. Now, leave me be. I'll see you in 12 months or 3 months or 6 months or whatever. That's the traditional use of leader motivation. Modern leader motivation changes the game. It flips things around. Instead of me deciding based upon the calendar or based upon my mood when I'm going to approach you and tell you how you could get better, I'm going to position myself as a resource for the team that can be utilized by any member of the team whenever they need that resource to be motivated. I have the ability to provide my expertise to move them up, down, sideways. But we have a tendency, as you well know, even the best of us do this. We read something, we hear something, we go somewhere, we go, wow, that was a powerful thing I just read. I was really affected by this. And it just stands to reason that because I was affected by it, that everyone who's ever worked for me will be equally affected by it. So allow me to blast out an email, mandatory, that everybody has to read this book tomorrow because it affected me. And once again, everybody just got better. No. I appreciate your book affected you. And I'm not saying don't share the knowledge that's available to you. I'm just saying that is a leadership approach of you pushing down knowledge. I need you to begin to think about the fact that I want to pull up what my people need. I want to be available to them to provide them support and guidance when and how they need it. Somebody in this room tell me how you are using leader motivation, how you're offering guidance and support to your people in a way that they come get it from you. Go ahead.
So we use Salesforce to teach our frontline employees how to self-inspect and self-evaluate themselves, so then they can go to their leader and say, based on the data that I've mined and my efforts, this is what I can help on it. Then it becomes a collaborative effort.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it almost like they feel, there's that word empowered again, but they feel empowered. They've got the knowledge to take to go up and ask for that guidance. That's a really cool example. Give me another one. You're all leaders in here. How are you doing this?
I think you have to build that trust with the employee.
Okay.
So that they can truly understand through multiple efforts that you provided that you truly are interested in helping them become what they want to become. After farther than what they are currently doing. And that comes from, that's the time aspect. It just doesn't happen every 1 year.
No, it doesn't. I'm so glad you said it that way. I hope you all get something out of this, and maybe you take little pieces of this and take it back with it to your team. And walking into the door, or go on a conference call or a blast email or whatever, and say, "Okay, I'm open for anybody who needs help. Y'all come on." And then, don't plan for the avalanche to come. You're not going to come like a herd of cattle to the door just because you said I'm now available. It happens over time. I'm going to go a little bit even more specific. It really happens over transactions. See, the trust is built through transactions. If you come to me for help, I do present myself as open as a resource. And you come to me to get guidance or support on an issue, and I help you, then we had a transaction. Okay? So over time, you're now more trusting of me as a leader because I helped you in that transaction. Does that make sense? So now we're more trusting. He trusts me more because of that transaction. But what is the effect of this on the rest of the team? Come on now. I helped him. He goes back to the team. How does that affect the trust level with the rest of the team?
Goes up.
Why does it go up?
They're going to talk about it as a team. They're going to other teammates are going to notice what's happening. And so they say, well, it worked for him, it can work for me.
You know, I went to him, and he helped me. He listened to me. We were in his office or his car or whatever, the cafeteria, whatever it was, in the street for 30 minutes. And he asked me questions, and I answered them. And he gave me some really good advice. And some of it I'm going to use, and some of it I'm not. But man, he really was there for me. And if you have that experience with me, you're going to take it to everybody in this table. You might want to get to them, or this might just happen naturally. So watch this. That one transaction creates a transaction with you, and a transaction with you, and a transaction with you, and a transaction. Everybody he tells, we created a trust transaction. And it permeates like a contagion. And all of a sudden, the trust builds with the entire team. Y'all got me on that? That's how you begin to position yourself as a resource to use it. Now, last piece on this part, and on the definition piece, that we'll give an example. The lead by example part. If I have done this, sorry, I have to back it up. If I asked 200 salespeople, please describe their leadership style, 199 and a half of them would respond this way. I lead by what? Okay. Listen, that's good. I'm not going to hate on leading by example. I'm going to show you how it's helpful. My only challenge with the lead by example, I'm trying to drop this reading teaching as we go along here. My only challenge with leading by example is that the only people that truly benefit from those who lead by example are those who learn by emulation. Let me say it again. Leading by example only helps those who learn by emulating. So if they don't learn by copying you walking around as the example of a great sales leader, a great salesperson, doesn't do anything for them. Now, we can't help it as salespeople. When we go from salesperson to sales leader, oftentimes the default way to lead is by example, because so many of us are hybrid leaders. We're having to produce and lead, go on calls and manage, do this and that. So leading by example is the easiest way to lead. So I want to make one comment on it. It's not, in itself, it's not enough. But please do continue to think about what example you're providing for those who work for you. The teaching piece on this is this. I teach at the University of Alabama. I teach about 1,200 student sales every year. A lot of kids. We have figured out how to teach well. There's a process for it. The way to teach well is to instruct them on the process they need to learn and show them what it looks like. Have them practice it. Coach them. And then let them go. Now, try to learn how to teach it before you get, okay? Give them the instruction, give them the process. Show them how to do it. Practice with them. Coach them to get them better and more confident. Then let them go. Now, the part that goes with leading by example is the show part. See, not everyone learns by emulation, but everyone does benefit to some degree from seeing what good looks like. We all benefit. You can give me a 19-step process all you want to, but show me what good looks like. If I see what good looks like, even if I'm not an emulator, I'm still going to learn by seeing what good looks like. Okay, so leading by example is another aspect of this motivator. Here's my external example for you, okay? We work a lot with Walmart and Sam's Club. So Walmart and Sam's Club is an organization we work with. We work with their buyers, their category managers. So if you walk into a Sam's Club store anywhere in the country and you buy anything that is food related, anything that is perishable, food or beverage of any kind, ultimately that rolls up to a gentleman named Brian Harris. Brian is the Senior Vice President of Perishables for Sam's Club. Brian, to me, we work with Brian a lot. Brian, this is very technical terms, so I apologize for using very deep technical terms, but Brian is a badass. Okay? Brian has something he does every week that I think is one of the best examples of this. Every Friday, Bryant eats his lunch in the Sam's Club cafeteria. He sets up his lunch at the end of one of the tables, and he eats. For 40 minutes, he sits at that table, and he eats. He doesn't send a blast email out to anybody about Brian's here, Brian's in the building. He just goes and eats. And any planner who works for Sam's Club, or a junior planner who works for Sam's Club, any buyer or junior buyer, any category manager, senior category manager, junior category manager, anybody who's involved in any way with buying of any kind is welcome to come over and eat lunch with Bryant. Now, when you come and eat lunch with Bryant, and it's part of the team's culture, everybody understands that you are there to ask questions and have Bryant give you help on any little project or any little thought about your career or about a new product you're buying or about a problem you're having. Bryant will give you his perspective on the issue. Bryant doesn't blast out a note to everybody and say, we're talking about this today. Bryant sits down and positions himself as a resource. And every Friday, that table is full. And one more thing. Bryant has a very clear and very, I'll just say steadfastly applied rule for this lunch. No lunches. This is not a lunch where I'm going to sit down because I'm senior VP of whatever, and y'all going to tell me how awesome I am and try, you know what I'm saying. It's about getting better. That's my outside example. Here's your inside example. Recently, I provided mentorship to a business account manager who had the skills necessary to succeed, but just needed to key in on a couple of points to make them better. We had weekly sessions where we would review his module and recent projects. Then we discussed the things that worked and those that could have been done better. We focused on the weaker points and developed a plan to increase activity and close ratio more quickly. He finished the year in the top